You are now watching I Shot Him 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel.
I shot him 6 times.
What's going on, horror fanatics? Welcome to I Shot Him 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel. As you know, I'm your host and creator of the channel, Marcus. If you have not done so already, please shoot this video a like. It helps out with the YouTube algorithm a ton. As well as if you're a new viewer to this channel, please shoot that subscribe button as well as that notification icon so you get all the latest content updates to the channel. Now, we'll put a disclaimer here at the beginning of the video real quickly. If you have not watched Scream 6 or have not been keeping up with the spoilers or both, then this video may not be for you, as this video will contain spoilers for Scream 6. Okay, everyone, so let's get into it. If you have watched Scream 6 or if you have been keeping up with the spoilers or both, then you know by now that our main three antagonists in the film turned out to be the family of Richie Kirsch, our Ghostface killer from Scream 5, this plot, this whole motive, this whole reveal of the family was an homage to Mrs. Loomis' character in Scream 2, when obviously she was revealed as the mother of Billy Loomis, who was coming after Sidney Prescott in that film, trying to gain revenge for Sidney killing her son. This was obviously the same exact direction that they went with in Scream 6 in terms of the reveal of the characters. But the crux of this video isn't about just the characters in its entirety, but who did they kill and who did they attack? Who killed who? Who committed what crime? In this video, I'm going to break it down to you guys who I believe committed the attacks and who committed the murders. I will say this video is not going to be super long, as in my opinion, it's pretty cut and dry who committed the kills in this film as it pertains to these three characters and who just committed the attacks. So without wasting any more time, let's get into it. Okay, so we start off with Wayne Kirsch, aka Wayne Bailey, Detective Wayne Bailey, whatever you want to call him, what have you, the father of Richie Kirsch, as well as Ethan and Quinn. And I believe that for the majority of the film, he was the one who committed most of the murders. He was the one who, did all the dirty work. I believe he's the one who killed Jason and Greg in the beginning. I believe he's the one who was in the bodega scene. I believe he's the one who killed Dr. Stone. And I also believe he's the one who killed Annika as well in the latter scene. And I know that could be up for debate. Some people out there think that it was actually Ethan, Jack Champion's character, who committed that murder. I actually don't believe that, and the reason why I'll say that, I'll start off with Annika's kill, is because we did hear Ethan say he was at Econ all night and his alibi got checked out, and none of the core four or anybody in the shrine scene, when he mentioned, why am I here in this shrine, like, why am I here with you guys, my alibi checks out, none of them refuted that. All Chad said was, just keeping an eye on you, Rumi, and stuff like that. So I think that eliminates Ethan there, as well as, they were doing the fake out scene with Quinn, so it couldn't have been Quinn. So in my opinion, it was definitely Detective Bailey who was the one who was there committing that crime as well. Now, as for Dr. Stone and the rest of these murders, Jason and Greg and the bodega scene murders, I believe this was him as well, is because in each one of these scenes is where we get the placement of the old Ghostface mask from each killers, from each killers that they showcase with whoever mask it was and all that in the film. We had Richie's at Jason and Greg's scene. We had Charlie and Jill's at the bodega. At Dr. Stone's, we had Roman Bridger. And in my opinion, I think that it would be way easier, being that he is the cop and he would know how to plant evidence and make a scene, stage a scene, I believe, a lot better than his daughter and his son. I believe that in each one of these murder scenes that we got these characters killed off, that this was Detective Wayne Bailey. Again, you may have your opinions and your assumption on it. You may not believe that he's the one who did all the dirty work in terms of all the killings. In my opinion, I think the evidence in the film shows that he was the one who committed all the dirty work. In my opinion, I think his son and daughter was just there to keep an eye on Samantha and Tara, as well as make sure nobody else was going to basically get their hands on Samantha and Tara, much like Jason and Greg. That's why he killed them off as well, because their whole plan was to finish Richie's movie and kill Samantha and Tara before they got the chance to. So I just think that the son and daughter, though they did have a couple scenes where they did something, they weren't the ones to do all the dirty work. They was just there to keep eyes on Samantha and Tara, while the father did everything else. We now move on to Richie's brother, Ethan, if that is even his real name. But be that as it may, I'm just going to say that he only stabbed Chad in this film. He didn't do anything else. And the reason why I say he did stab Chad is because he took credit for it. And I also went on to state in my previous video that after breaking that scene down, they had some editing issues with the mask. Certain instances you can see the cracks. Then when they do the double knife swipe, and especially if you zoom in, there are no cracks in those masks. So those were just editing faux pas in that scene. However, I do believe it was Quinn and Ethan who did stab Chad. But as for Ethan, I think that is the only thing he did in this film. Again, you can make the debate about the Annika discussion. I don't believe it was him. I think this is the only thing that he did in this film was stab Chad. Again, I just feel like him and his sister were really just eyes on the prize, making sure that Samantha and Tara wouldn't get touched by anybody else until they were revealed with their father as the main antagonist in this film. Okay everyone, so now we move on to Richie Kirsch's sister, aka Quinn Bailey, aka Quinn Kirsch, whatever you choose to call her as well. And before we get into what I believe she actually did, 100%, I'm just going to throw out there real quickly. I did a video on this a couple days ago. I'm going to leave it at the end screen of this video, and I'm actually do a part 2 follow-up to that video showcasing why I don't believe that Quinn is the one who attacked Gale Weathers and killed Gale Weathers' boyfriend. I'm not going to go 100% into full details again as to why I believe that. That is for a whole nother part 2 video to the first one that I did. However, I am going to give credit to Quinn for stabbing Chad with her brother Ethan. I do believe she committed that. I think that was pretty obvious, that it was them two that did that, as well as I do believe she is the one on the subway who stabbed Mindy. I think that for that character, for her frame, her build, all that, the fact that she didn't have to do anything extraordinary like throw Brooks through a bookcase, I think out of all the attacks and kills in this scene, that attack scene makes more sense for her character to commit than anybody else, as well as the hallway scene stabbing Tara. How I know that this was her character that did this is because when you slow that scene down, when Chad is tussling with this Ghostface and he throws the Ghostface into the poster that has a case of glass over it, the stab poster, before it breaks, if you slow it down you got to really slow it down real good. But if you break it down, you can see the cracks on the side of the mask that resemble the mask that is supposedly Stu Macher's that Quinn said and revealed at the end. She was wearing that mask in the hallway scene when she stabbed Tara. So again, I will give credit for Quinn. I will give credit to Quinn for stabbing Chad with her brother, stabbing Mindy, and stabbing Tara. She actually did a little bit more than her own brother did in this film. I will give her that. But again, as far as killing Brooks and stabbing Gale Weathers, I am not giving her credit for that. And if you're wondering why I left Brooks' kill off of the father's kill list, the reason why it's impossible for the father to be the one to kill Brooks is because he was in the field with Kirby, Samantha, etc., tracing the call that was actually coming from Gale Weathers' house. So it couldn't have been him that killed Brooks. But again, I believe it was somebody completely different than Quinn's character, and in the part 2 of why I believe that Quinn isn't the one to stab Gale Weathers and kill Brooks, I'm going to explain such even further. But okay everyone, that is it for the Scream 6 Who Killed Who Attacked Who video. Leave a comment in the comment section below and let me know your thoughts on who do you believe killed who, as well as who attacked who out of these 3 characters. Once again, this is I Shot Him 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel. I'm your host and creator of the channel, Marcus. Be sure to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon. Thank you all for watching.